Hey everyone, Sam here from Spun, and today I'll be showing you how to make cheesecake stuffed strawberries. If you are looking for a super quick and easy and nice and refreshing dessert, this one is perfect for any time, but especially for summertime cookouts or picnics. Today's recipe could not be simpler. We're going to start with 2 pounds of strawberries. Make sure you've rinsed them off and patted them dry before you begin. Now we're going to be stuffing these with cheesecake, so we have to make some room for that cheesecake filling, and I'll show you how we do that. First, grab your strawberry, and I'm going to start with a nice big one here just so you can really see it. And take this green part right here, and we're just going to twist it off. Now, obviously you still have that green part of the stem right there. And the way I like to core these strawberries is to take a large open tip. I am using the Wilton 1A tip, and I'm just going to center that right over the green part. And I'll just twist it in, firmly press it in to the strawberry. You don't want to go too far or you end up splitting your strawberry in half, which we obviously don't want. But I'll go in, and I like to twist it until I sort of feel the strawberry bulging outwards from the piping tip. And then you can pop the tip right out. Sometimes the piping tip will come out with the core, but if not, just take a sharp knife, gently pry it out with that. So now you have a nice little nest in there that we're going to fill with our cheesecake filling. Now, if you don't have a piping tip, another thing you can do is take your strawberry, remove the stem again, and you can use a sharp knife, I'm using a paring knife, and just sort of carve out the center. Be careful, anytime you're using a sharp knife, you don't want to cut yourself. I'm just going all the way around, and it's the same exact idea. So now we have 2 strawberries that we can fill. I'm going to prep a couple more, but I'm not going to make you watch me do all of these. So I have a couple strawberries prepped that we're going to fill momentarily, but first let's make that cheesecake filling. We're going to be making a no-bake cheesecake filling. It comes together super fast. Grab yourself a medium or large mixing bowl, and to this we're going to add 3/4 cup of cold heavy cream. You want to use heavy cream, whipping cream, or double cream for this part. Next, measure yourself out 2/3 cup of powdered sugar. We are going to add about half of this, about 1/3 cup to the heavy cream. It doesn't need to be exact. Just an about will work fine. We'll also be adding 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And for this next part, I highly recommend you either use a stand mixer or an electric hand mixer, which is what I'm going to be using today. We're going to use this to beat this whipped cream until you have thick, stiff peaks. So basically we're making our own homemade whipped cream. I don't really recommend this part by hand just because it could be quite an arm workout. It's not impossible, it's just pretty intense. Now I always start with my mixer on low speed just to get that powdered sugar absorbed and keep it from flying all over my kitchen. And then I'll slowly increase the speed to high. Or we'll say medium high because getting a little bit of splatter here. Okay, this is looking pretty good, but I want to make sure you see how this should look. It should resemble store-bought Cool Whip. So this is thick, fluffy. I'm gonna go a little bit further. I like my peaks to be super stiff, and this could be a little bit more. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So the beaters are leaving trails in the whipped cream. The peak that forms is holding its shape when you lift the spatula out of the whipped cream. So this is good. I'm going to set it aside. And now grab yourself a separate mixing bowl. To this, we are going to add 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. Drop this right in your mixing bowl. Whoa, made it in. And then now we're going to take the rest of our powdered sugar, about 1/3 cup, add that in. We're going to stir these together until the cream cheese and sugar are smooth and completely combined. This recipe is so simple and so good. So let's grab our homemade whipped cream. We're going to add this to the cream cheese, but I do want to just scrape the sides and bottom of the bowl real fast. Don't want to skip that step. Just make sure there are no lumps of sugar or cream cheese remaining, and we do look good. So now we'll add our whipped cream. Now, do not use your electric mixer at this point, otherwise you're going to overmix everything. We want this to be a nice fluffy mixture. So grab your spatula and just gently fold together the 2 batters or mixtures until they are completely combined. Okay, so that's how easy it is to make the filling. We're going to drop this into a piping bag. You can fit it with any kind of tip that you'd like. I am using the Wilton 2D, or you can just use no piping tip at all and just cut the end off the piping bag, whatever you prefer. Presentation is a little bit nicer if you use a piping tip. Just drop this into my bag. Now this whipped cream is going to set up a little bit in the refrigerator. So if you need to make these a little bit in advance of serving them, you can do that. Like I'll make them the morning that I plan on serving them at a party, and then they go in the fridge and the filling will just become a little bit more sturdy. However, the longer they are in a warm environment or at room temperature, of course, the filling is going to get softer and a little bit more melty. So keep them cold until you're ready to serve them. Okay, we are almost done. Take your cream cheese filling, and we're just going to drop the tip right in there and squeeze that filling out. And then I like to top it off with a nice little decorative swirl. Now, it wouldn't be cheesecake without a graham cracker crust. So I have about 2 tablespoons of graham cracker crumbs here, and I'm just going to lightly sprinkle the top. Look how cute that is. And again, this is going to be super soft. We've been handling it a lot. We just piped it, but if you put it in the refrigerator, it will become a little bit more sturdy, which is nice. And of course, I'm only showing you a few strawberries because you don't want to watch me do this all day, but this does fill approximately 2 pounds of strawberries. Graham crackers. And that's literally it. It's so simple to make, perfect for a summertime cookout or any time of the year. I cannot wait for you to try these strawberries. If you do, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay, Luke's joining me, but he doesn't like cheesecake, so he's not going to be trying it, but he still wanted to make an appearance. Are you ready to try? Cheers. You got some chocolate on your face. Luke thinks it's great. These really are delicious, and you could go the extra mile and dip them in chocolate. That would be so good. I love it. You're missing out, kid.